built some legs off the bottom of it. We had 3 legs coming off of here. And each one of these legs had an auger in it. And we would drop that down with the crane. We'd drop that down with the crane and we'd auger that lead out of there. And it took forever. It would take us about 3.5 days to get the shot cleaned out of that. Because we would run, we had a motor, we had an electric motor here that drove these augers. We had a system of pulleys, these shafts come all the way up. And we had a system of belts and gears right here off that electric motor to turn those augers. And then we would fill this up, and it, like I say, it would turn really, really slow. And it took us a long time to do that. It was a horrible, horrible job. We did that. About a year later, they called us back and said, hey, we need to clean our shot well again. So we said, all right. The company said, okay, we'll be glad to do it, but we're going to come up with a different plan. And part of the plan for a design build company is whoever hires you is paying for the design too. We didn't just build it and then go in there and use it. We required them to pay for the design and building of this. And so what we came up with is what we call a clam bucket. This clam bucket, we had this made, we had to have this pressed and made. And it's open right there, and then we had deal right there, a system of pulleys there, a system of pulleys there. And what we would do, we would drop that thing down in the, we made it so it would open within that 36-inch diameter rod, and it would come down here and open, kind of like a Pac-Man. Then we had a plunger right here with a trigger. That trigger would cause it to close, and then it would just close around the shot, and we'd pick it up, and we turned that 3.5 day job into about 12 hours. The point I'm trying to make here, I told you that long story to tell you this point. That's a good drawing. So when you're standing around your home shop, or when you're talking about, or when you're talking to your peers about building something, we built that clam bucket inside the shop, drawing on a table similar to that one right in there. Okay, using soapstone, we draw on our table, we had everything laid out, drawn on our table. Practice your drawing skills. Practice your drawing skills and being able to lay things out and do it accurately. You can build a lot of stuff. A whole bunch of this country has been built on bar napkins. People just sitting around drawing stuff out, figuring out how they're going to build something. And a whole lot of stuff has been built that way. So practice your drawing skills. Keep them as accurate as you can. They don't have to be CAD. They don't have to be computer-aided drafting accurate, but you want them accurate as you can get them. And because you may be building something off the original drawings that you're making. When we get back from the TIG shop, we'll call it the TIG shop today because that's what we're going to do first thing this morning. We're going to go across the street and work on our TIG until about 10. We'll spend about an hour over there working on TIG. We'll do a good shop cleanup, and then we'll come back over here and finish the day out over here. We'll come back here. You can start working on your personal projects or working on some processes that you feel like you may need some more help with, and just brushing up your skills. After chow, we'll come back and we'll start your final project. This will be judged. I think the prize for this is a really nice welding helmet. So if you want to put some effort into this, part of what you're going to be judged on is following the procedures that are up here. You'll build it to this blueprint. Okay, this is written on a whiteboard, but we're still going to call it a blueprint, or you may call it a shop print. When you're studying blueprints, if you go into a blueprint class, any drawing is going to be your blueprint for what you're going to work on. You'll have a piece right here. This will be 8 inches. There to there. That's called a leader line. And then we'll build it in that position. You have one piece that's going to be 4 inches. You'll have another piece that's 3 inches. Then you'll grab 2 pieces that are 1 inch. These right here are 1 inch. That's typical of both of these. TYP, typical. You'll put them in this position. You'll have one at 3.5 inches, and the 4 inch will be at 3.5. The 3 inch will be at 3 inches from this point here. So pay close attention to that when you're laying these out to weld. Horrible line. Hard to draw sometimes without messing up my other material. I don't have it drawn out, but you'll have another base. I haven't cut them yet, but you'll have a base that's probably about 6 inches by 2 inches. And so we'll probably have that base, and then you'll weld it to that. You weld all the way around it. You use whatever process you prefer, other than TIG. We're not going to, I can't split everything up. So we're going to have to use one of the processes that we've worked on.
Can we do a mix of the processes, sir?
A what?
Can we do a mix of the processes? Like for one side, can we use stick, and then the other, can we use MIG?
You can. You can. If you want to take the time to do that, absolutely. Absolutely. But do not grind any welds. Okay? Don't grind any welds. I've set up 1, 2, 3, 4. When we get back, we'll need to clear all your gear off that table because we'll be cleaning our parts. Let me grab a part.
What'd you ask?